What is going on, you guys? It's C, and we are here for the overview of the November 28th edition of Smackdown Live. It was live. I don't remember what city it was. Let's just get right to it. All right, we had the commissioner, Shane McMahon. You know, here comes the money. Dala dala, dala dala, ching the ching, bling bling, cut the chatter. If you're not talking money, then you're something doesn't matter. So yes, Commissioner Shane, and he calls out Daniel Bryan. But apparently last week, Shane McMahon left SmackDown Live. What a boss, leaving in the middle of your own show. Shane left SmackDown Live, and he instructed Daniel Bryan to fire Kevin and Sami. Daniel didn't do it. Instead, he put Kevin Owens in a match this week against Randy Orton. I'm not saying Daniel Bryan might be going towards a heel turn, but he's not going with what Shane is doing, and that might start having some friction between the two. He was kind of defending Sami and KO for what they did at Team SmackDown Live a little bit. Again, Bryan kind of defending them, saying that they could end up on Raw because they're valuable assets. You know, they can end up on Raw, this was a little funny moment because then Shane was like, okay, there'd be Stephanie's problem now. Eventually, Shane McMahon barring Sami Zayn from ringside for Kevin Owens' match against Randy Orton, which he made a no disqualification match. Logically, it doesn't really make sense if you're going to bar Sami Zayn from ringside and then it's going to be a no disqualification. Well, Sami Zayn could just walk down that aisle, right? And the backstage segment after this, both Sami and Kevin Owens were trying to, try to get that going, trying to get Daniel Bryan to go against Shane McMahon and trying to turn the no DQ back into just a regular plain old match. Bryan was having none of it, saying hell no, it's happening. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, no DQ. Tough luck, Kevin. And on to our first match of the night, we had the New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. New Day Rocks. The New Day, this time Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods with Big E sitting it out against the team of Chad Gable. And how do the Usos do it? Shelton Benjamin. So yes, New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable with the Usos at ringside. And I absolutely loved every time the Usos are at ringside. Their comedy gold. New Day made their entrance, and you had, the Usos kind of like, dancing along to the New Day's theme song. Then you had Big E walk up to them and pull pancakes out of his singlet, pull plates, pancakes, syrup out of his singlets. That was a pretty good segment. Now, am I the only one that thinks that this Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable team is just not working? Like, I'm not feeling them. Like, as a tag team, it just seems like it's American Alpha 2.0, and American Alpha was so great that American Alpha 2.0 is not, it was kind of dead from the beginning. It's appearing to me. As a tag team, I just don't feel it with both Benjamin and Gable. A New Day ended up taking up the victory. It was a pretty nice opening match to SmackDown Live. Again, the New Day back in the title picture, I'm going to assume, since the Usos were at ringside. And again, Shelton Benjamin, Chad Gable, I'm not feeling them. I think they should just let, Benjamin loose and Gable loose into the mid-card. So this was the first time I got to see the Bludgeon Brothers on my television, and I loved it. I love their entrance. I love their theme. It kind of creeps me out if I was a little kid watching this. If this was going on during the early 2000s, I probably would have turned off the TV and ran. So yeah, I like their entrance. It's really creepy. It really makes them look like a force. They went up against the Hype Bros. So Luke Harper slaps Rowan. They take out Mojo, and then they just kill Zack Ryder. Luke Harper just destroys him with a nasty black hole slam. Yeah, Bludgeon Brothers pick up the victory. Awesome new tag team added into the mix. I'm intrigued of where they're going to go along with their first feud, if they're going to continue that thing with Breezango. But I'm all in on the Bludgeon Brothers. Luke Harper, again, deserves whatever success this tag team's going to get. After that, Mojo Rawley turned heel on Zack Ryder. Honestly, show of hands if you care about Mojo Rawley. Okay, yeah, I don't care. Glorious! Bobby Roode talking with whoever that interviewer was. Looks like he's going after Baron Corbin's U.S. title. Baron Corbin interrupts him. Bobby Roode challenged him to a match later on that night. It looked like Corbin was going to say yes. He did the whole posture up, and then when it went up, he just said no. Actually, I hope Bobby doesn't win it right off the bat. I kind of want to see Corbin hang on to the belt for a little bit. All right, next up, the Singh brothers in a handicap match against the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp, the WWE champion, the phenomenal one, the face of SmackDown Live, AJ Styles. I thought there wasn't going to be any match because they attacked AJ beforehand, and I was thinking, okay, they're just going to build more heat with Mahal. They cut to commercial break though, and AJ Styles ended up picking up a victory over the Singh brothers in a 2-on-1 handicap match. It was a sick Styles clash, but it was a top rope Styles clash on top of the other Singh brother. AJ Styles picked up the 1-2-3 and then got out of harm's way right before Jinder Mahal attacked him. Afterwards, Jinder Mahal hit each of the Singh brothers with a Kalash. One of them sold it like a champ. That was beautiful the way he sold that Kalash. But yeah, Jinder Mahal gave both Singh brothers a Kalash. Is that the end of their partnership? Oh man, I just hope it's not like he's gonna attack the Singh brothers, but this is just all a ruse to when he has his matchup against AJ Styles, they're gonna come back, and then I hope it doesn't lead, and then Mahal wins the title. I really hope it doesn't lead to that. Last week they made their debut, Ruby Riott with 2 T's in Riott, because apparently Riott with 1 T is inappropriate for children. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, they're going to be known as the Riott Squad. Then we have the Riott Squad going up against former women's champion Natalya, Naomi, and the current women's champion Charlotte. Natalya ended up walking out of them early up in the match, leaving it to a 2-on-3 handicap match. While Charlotte and Ruby Riott were in the ring, Sarah and Liv Morgan took out Naomi on the outside. They threw her onto the barricade, they threw her onto the steel steps. They did the whole catapult thing where Sarah launched Naomi face first right into the steel steps, taking her out. And Ruby Riott ends up pinning Charlotte, the women's champion. So already Ruby Riott has a victory over the women's champion Charlotte. Some interesting times in the women's division. All right, my favorite part of the show, Fashion Files, the Saw edition. I was just like Byron, I was on pins and needles. I was kind of really anxious of this episode of Fashion Files. It was a Saw edition. It was really nerve-wracking and really traumatizing. We had Breezango and the Ascension locked up by ankles, and a video plays out, and it's Jigsaw, and he tells them if they don't destroy what they love in a minute, they're gonna get poisoned with gas. Man, that minute was the longest minute of my life. Honestly, I was scared for Breezango and the Ascension, but luckily, thank goodness, the Ascension found the key. They were ever to rescue Breezango. The Ascension sacrificed themselves for Breezango. They threw the key to Fandango. He freed himself. Tyler Breeze freed himself. Ascension proving their friendship. To be continued next week. I don't think I can take another episode of Fashion Files. It's just too much for the heart, man. I hope the Ascension are okay. Good thing is, Breezango looked to be fine. They got out of there safe. Hopefully the Ascension is good. Next up, we had the main event, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens in a no disqualification match with Sami Zayn being barred from ringside. Now, early in the match, Randy Orton was going early 2000s Barry Bonds on poor little Kevin Owens there, just swinging that kendo stick around and just destroying Owens. It was a nice closing matchup to this episode of Smackdown Live. Sami Zayn was barred from ringside, but they weren't at ringside in this moment of the match. They were actually on the ramp. Sami Zayn coming out with the steel chair and just hitting Randy Orton repeatedly, helping, being the guardian angel for his best friend Kevin Owens. Randy Orton looks like he was gonna hit an RKO. Owens was able to counter it. Eventually, Owens hit a frog splash and pinned Orton 1, 2, 3. Owens getting that victory over Randy Orton in the main event. Let's see what happens next week with Shane O'Mac and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Let's see where the storyline leads to. Maybe it leads to Daniel Bryan, seeing himself in Owens and Sami, and then seeing, the authority in Shane McMahon, especially around this time, pretty close to Mania. Maybe Daniel Bryan sides with Owens and Zayn. We'll have to see next week and the weeks preceding and see what happens. So yep, that was Smackdown Live for this week. That's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.